So welcome everybody. Very happy to have you here with us today. You are in Senior Roundtable, and we will be starting the meeting. We'll be going until 10:30. As you can see that today, we've got a couple other dates this year. We meet every other month. You'll hear more about that shortly. My name is Laura Steigelman. I'm lucky enough to be the facilitator for the Senior Roundtable, and gosh, I think we're going on maybe 17 years of meeting every other month, even through COVID and everything else. I think we did skip 1 month in COVID, so we didn't know what the heck was going on. So we're happy to have you with us today. And we, again, have a great program for you. I'm very excited about that. For some reason, my mouse stopped working. Okay. So if you are newer to Zoom or you don't live on Zoom like some of us do, good or bad, if you're willing to keep your video on, it's really appreciated. I know the speakers like having that eye contact. I selfishly love having the eye contact. I like seeing what's going on, the head nods and the smiles and things like that. It just makes it such a more pleasant meeting. There's what we call the Zoom ruler along the bottom of your screen, and you can pop that out and move it. I have two screens because of the kind of work I do. I have stuff on both screens. And you can physically move that ruler if you want to, but on the ruler, you will see the word chat. And if you will click on chat, you will see that there is information coming into the chat box. And Mack is our Zoom producer today. Actually, Herb is the Zoom producer. I forgot about who my Zoom producer was, even though he's sitting 2 feet from me. That's pretty sad. I have not had enough coffee, obviously. And you can see Elizabeth just said hello in there. Joanne said hello in there. So you've got that chat box that'll be going as we move through the material today. If you are willing to put your first and last name on your video feed, it's just great for networking. Somebody, here's Diana, and maybe I know Diana, but I don't know her full name, or I don't know where she works, etc. But I've seen her in meetings before. That opportunity to put your first and last name, and if you can squeeze in your organization, as you see Andrea did, she's got ElderSource in there, that also helps them know where you work. The way you can do that is just hover over your own video. Those 3 dots will pop up on your own video feed where your face is, and then you have a rename option and you can change that to whatever you want to. If you cannot figure that out, you can let Mack know in the chat box. I'm just going to keep calling you Mack. I'm sorry. He goes by both names. I'm sorry. So whoever that Zoom person is, you can just let him know to change your name and he can do that for you. And then the meeting is recorded after probably Monday or Tuesday. Once it gets cleaned up, we will put that on the YouTube channel that we have, and Gabby from ElderSource will send out a notice letting you know that that has happened, and you can just click on it and watch this or share it with others. So if this is your first meeting with Senior Roundtable, please let us know. Show of hands, a wave, or you can do a thumbs up or anything like that. So we've got a couple of folks. So welcome officially. We're really glad to have you here with us today. So let me share with you a little bit about what the heck is Senior Roundtable. Our meeting sponsor today is, whoops, I just skipped right by the page here. A meeting sponsor today is Dr. Margaret Dennis, and she will be speaking here shortly. And our organizational announcements will be coming. So this is the agenda on that. Networking opportunity. You'll have a couple opportunities to meet other people, or at least just say hello to people maybe that you haven't seen for a while. The program, as you know from the emails coming out and the RSVPs, Senior Roundtable, is the Senior Technology Day today. So we've got a couple different speakers and a couple different angles on that. You can see that Torrence and Joanne are going to join us, and they provide training and help for folks to learn how to use resources. You're going to hear from them. And then Prachi is going to do a live video feed from her office where all her equipment is, and she's going to walk through some of the things that are out there that maybe some of us don't know about technology-wise to keep seniors safe and healthy. We do have a couple door prizes that we will have at the end of the session. If you are still with us at the end of the session, you will have an opportunity to win a door prize, compliments of our meeting sponsor. So we'll be giving those away at the very end of the meeting. And then we will wrap up and get you on your way. Hopefully a good day ahead of you and a good weekend. So about Senior Roundtable, kind of the top of the agenda here. Way back when, probably 2006, 2007, community foundations started focusing a lot on the senior sector and giving grants to that sector. And as they started visiting the different nonprofits that are out there, they noticed that there wasn't really a venue for those nonprofits to get to know what each other does. So they would be someplace on one day and they say, yeah, we have a need for XYZ, but we don't do that. We don't know who does. Maybe 2 weeks later, they were at a nonprofit that did XYZ, but didn't know that others didn't know about them. So they formed Senior Roundtable as a way for the local nonprofits, Northeast Florida area, who are in the senior sector to get to know what everybody does. So we still focus on that today. Networking and getting you connected with others in this meeting is a big part of why we still meet. And then we always have a program that is selected intentionally to say, what do we think this group would like to learn about or know about or find out about? So that is how it started. Elder Source is key behind the scenes. They send out those email notices. They manage all the emails going out to you. When we are in person, they allow us to use their space. And you'll see Andrea there, big wave for Andrea. Gabby's another person, Emily. And if there's any other Elder Source folks here, give us a wave. We usually have a handful of them able to join us for this meeting. We're very grateful for everything that they do. So we are open to everybody. Anybody who would like to attend, you are welcome to attend. Again, it's that opportunity to network, et cetera. And our goal is to create those collaborative relationships so you know who does what. We do meet every other month. 4 of the meetings typically are on Zoom, and then 2 of the meetings are in person. And there's no charge ever to attend, and everyone is welcome. This group that you see here is behind the scenes, and they help determine what should the topic be. What's something that we haven't done for a while, or gosh, this is an area that's kind of growing and we have a need there. Let's talk about that. So this group makes that decision. They reach out and they find contacts, or who are some folks that would be great presenters on this. That's how we get a lot of the names that you even see today came from this recommendation for this group. Andrea and the rest of them are all volunteers for this. They've all either been selected, asked, begged, pleaded, whatever. And Andrea is going to do a quick intro and say hello on behalf of the advisory committee. Andrea, all yours.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Andrea Spencer, Vice President of Communications at Elder Source, and we are very happy to be one of the organizers. Hi, Joanne, for Senior Roundtable. I think if you're in the network, you know that there's a lot of networking opportunities, and they're all great for different reasons. They happen all around our 7-county area, but I believe that this is the only networking event that offers a 1-hour educational opportunity. Again, exchanging the business cards, meeting and networking, that's super important for all the work that we do. But the committee brings together some really wonderful resources and people to give you information about something you might not even know. And I can't begin to tell you the number of times after Senior Roundtable, I'll take the resources that were shared and then give them to our helpline. Our helpline gets 5,000 calls a month from people wanting all different kinds of things. So this opportunity for me to grab information and refresh and also not necessarily refresh, but reintroduce people to information on our helpline to get them plugged in, because they're on the phones all day and they can't necessarily attend Senior Roundtable. So if you haven't been here before, I really want to invite you back. I also invite you to be part of the planning committee, because sometimes we look at each other and, we could use some fresh eyes, fresh ears. So please join us. I'm sure Laura, if you reach out to Laura, she'll let you know when we meet online. So I'm really glad to see everybody today. Prachi, hi. I saw you, a week ago or so. And Diana Sandoval, thank you for joining us today. And for those of you I haven't met, by all means, welcome, welcome. Have a great weekend.
Andrea, thank you so much. Wonderful welcome. And again, volunteer, they give their time, and we cannot do it without them. So very appreciative to this group. If your name is on here and you're in the meeting and you haven't given us a wave yet, please do so. I know at least 3 or 4 of you folks are here. So please let us identify you. And again, thank you for everything that you do for this group. If you would like to keep in touch with each other, as Andrea said, great networking with this group and connecting, and that's what this is all about. We have several ways for you to do that. If you're not getting the meeting notices, you can contact Gabby. We'll have Mack put this in the chat box as well, so you can grab it later if you would like to. Gabby with Elder Source, again, maintains that email list for us. So let her know you'd like to be on the email list, and anybody else that you work with or know of that would benefit, they are welcome to join. We do have a LinkedIn group that you can post events and things like that on there. We do ask for you not to over post. Every day people then start kind of blocking the thing, like too much stuff coming in. But if you have an event that's appropriate for this group that's coming up and you'd like to tell others about it, or you have a need, hey, we're doing such and such and we need volunteers. If anybody has an organization that needs volunteer hours, please send them our way. Any of those kinds of things count. And we would love to see that in that LinkedIn group. We also post the meeting notices and things there, as well as the newsletter that comes out from Gabby. So a couple different ways outside of this actual meeting that you can keep in touch with us. I wanted to mention, I don't know if Janet is in here. Janet, I think you're in here now. I see, I'm looking at the list. Janet is with the Community Foundation, and I mentioned they started this over 17 years ago, I think we're at now, and they still support/fund us today. So Janet is our liaison. Janet, if you're here and on camera, I just can't see everybody. I've got it kind of minimized just so I can see the slides. Please give us a wave, and we so appreciate the Community Foundation and everything that they do for us. So thank you so much. I'm going to move it now to Dr. Dennis, who is our spokesperson today as our sponsor. And she's got 3 minutes on the agenda to tell us about what she does and the great stuff that she does that will be helping seniors. So Dr. Dennis, if you can, I know there are some audio or visual problems behind the scenes. Dr. Dennis, you've got the floor. And if you'll please set a timer if you've got that available to you for your 3 minutes.
Sure. I'm so sorry I can't get my camera to hook up, and I don't know anything about computers, so I'm very, very sorry. But anyway, my name is Peggy Dennis. I go by Peggy, and I'm an orofacial pain specialist here in Jacksonville. You might not know that orofacial pain became the 12th dental specialty in 2019. We have to complete an accredited residency, just like other dental specialties such as periodontics, orthodontics, and endodontics. Thanks for letting me join this group. My office is called the Orofacial Pain Center, and it is centrally located on Salisbury Road near St. Vincent South. I'm the only orofacial pain specialist in the Southeast, and I treat temporomandibular joint damage, or what people often refer to as TMJ, as well as trigeminal neuralgia and migraine. Unfortunately, people suffering with facial pain are often turned away and told we don't treat TMJ, or there is no cure for TMJ, and then they don't know where to go for help. I see many patients that have suffered for years without a real diagnosis. I diagnose all TMJ problems with MRI, just like any other joint in the body. We examine, scan, and diagnose. Then we treat to the individual person's diagnosis, not just blanket treatment like many who treat facial pain do. I believe the MRI is what sets us apart. I truly enjoy helping pain patients and have become concerned about the number of dental implant offices popping up all over Jacksonville. These offices have fantastic marketing and insinuate the only way to have beautiful, well-functioning teeth is to use multiple dental implants that can cost upwards of $50,000. These offices are often very busy, and I believe they push patients to accept treatment without proper explanation and time spent discussing options. I often see the treatment plans are not tailored to the specific needs or wants of the patient. The patients are often left with teeth that are difficult to care for and may be difficult to use. Making great dentures is a lost art, and many seniors do suffer with ill-fitting and non-functional dentures. A well-fitting and functional denture is possible, and I love making them. When making these dentures, I spend time with the patient one-on-one, choosing natural-looking teeth and setting them by hand while they watch. We often spend as much time laughing as working. I use different teeth molds for a natural look, and I use pictures of their original teeth as a pattern. I allow the patient to follow and approve each step. The final denture is shaded by hand to give the gingiva a natural appearance. The bite is checked to assure the dentures fit properly together, and we use a special soft lining material to assure accurate fit of the working denture. Specific impression and processing techniques are used that lead to the perfect fit of the final denture. My patients are also given a duplicate denture to use if they ever break their new denture to ensure they will never have to go without their teeth. I'm trying to get the word out and would love for you to keep me in mind if you see anyone that has difficulty speaking or chewing or is experiencing any kind of facial pain. Thanks.
Awesome. Dr. Dennis, thank you. Thank you for being a meeting sponsor. Thank you also for the gift cards. Again, those are compliments of Dr. Dennis. At the end of the meeting, we'll do a random draw for 2 $25 Amazon gift cards. So thank you. And then Dr. Dennis, if you have time, sometime while the meeting is taking place, if you would please put your contact information in the chat box. How do people get a hold of you? If you want to remind people where your office is located, those things. And what we will do for everybody, anybody who wants to introduce themselves via the chat box, please feel free to do so. Monday or Tuesday, when we get back to clean this all up, we will also include anybody who puts their contact information, their name, where they work, the agency they're with, or what they do, et cetera. We'll include that in the information going out to everybody next week. So whatever you put in there for people to be able to get a hold of you, we'll include that in the post-meeting note as well. So Great. With that, if you have any senior sector announcements, the same thing goes, put those in the chat box. We will clean that up. We'll get it out to everybody next week, but you may have stuff going on now that you want to share with people. You've got this event coming up, etc. Please feel free to put that in the chat box along with the content or contact information. If there's a website, a phone number they should call, an email to get additional information, dates that you'd like to share, any of those things. And we'll just roll that through the whole meeting. Anytime through the meeting, if you think of something that's relevant for this group, please feel free to put it in the chat box. And again, we'll include it post meeting with those notes. So growing your network. Want to give you a chance to say hello to each other. You'll be in a breakout room. We'll do this twice. The first one, you can see if you are working someplace, because there's a lot of folks that are in here that are volunteers, many different places. They may be officially retired or just not working full-time any place, and they just have an interest in seniors. So whatever your situation is, number 2 there, share with us if you are working someplace, what you do, etc. And then number 3 is something you're looking forward to this weekend. You will have a total of 8 minutes in your breakout room. You'll see a little timer up there. And then again, exchange information. If you wanted to get back with somebody who is in your room and you forget to get their information before those 8 minutes fly by, find them in the chat box and say, hey, I met my group, I met this person, I didn't get your contact information. Please share with me what that is. If you want to be reminded of what you're doing once you're in that chat, or excuse me, in that breakout room, you can click on the chat box and this information will come up. I think our Zoom producer has it in the chat box as well. But really it is, who are you? Introduce yourself. Keep an eye on the time to make sure everybody gets a chance to introduce themselves. And then if you have time, something you're looking forward to this weekend. So 8 minutes, it will count you down to 0. And I believe that he's got it set up that there's a 60-second warning after that, just to say, hey, we're going to pull you back in 60 seconds, get to a good stopping point, and then we'll bring you back. We'll mix everybody up and we'll send you back out again. With that, I think Dr. Dennis, you had a question in the chat box because your technical issue, you had to log off or log back in. You may not have seen it. So the Zoom producer is putting it back in the chat box, and that question, Dr. Dennis, is for you. So if you will take a minute, if you can see the chat box, when you get a minute, take a look and you'll see a good question in there that one of the participants asked. So we are heading to our program, and you can see that Torrence is up first. And so let me give you a little bit of background about this. Really important topic. And it's like, so what can we do to really help seniors as much as possible technology-wise? There's a million things out there that are helpful, but specifically kind of focusing on technology. So 2 pieces here. Who helps them understand how to use technology? So we've got 2 folks here. Torrence does some things and Joanne does some things. I'll let them elaborate on that. They'll do a much better job than me. And then we're going to follow up with Prachi, and that will kind of wrap up through the rest of the program. She's going to do a live feed from her office. I got a chance to go there and actually walk through it myself. It was amazing. And I learned a ton of stuff that I didn't even know was out there or was available for folks. So we're going to do our best. We've done a couple practice runs, making sure the live feed would work from where she's at. So we'll start with Torrence. And so Torrence and Joanne have been given specific timeframes that we've asked them to keep within. If there's questions that they can't get to and their time is up and we've moved on, so we can make sure we get to Prachi and give her the time that she's expecting also, please feel free to put questions in the chat box. And if they can't get to them during their time that they're speaking, I will ask Torrence before he has to leave and teach his class, which is pretty shortly, if he could keep an eye once he's done, if he's got a few minutes, look at the chat box. Is there anything that you didn't get a chance to respond to? Joanne, the same with you as well. And if you'll please start your timers when you begin so you know where you are time-wise. So we don't have to jump in and interrupt you, which we don't like to do. We want you to have your time and know where you're at so you can control what you want to happen. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing, and Torrence, you are up.
Good morning, everyone. I was in the breakout rooms and I didn't understand the rules, but I learned rather quickly. So my name is Torrence. I own a company called TDM Technologies, and we specialize in teaching seniors how to use technology more effectively. We're talking about smartphones, iPhones, as well as Androids, iPads, tablets, computers, as well as social media, and of course, the new thing that's very prevalent now, AI. So we form these classes in different locations, senior centers, senior medical centers. We have a big connection with Florida Blue. We do something in all their retail centers across the state. I'm out of Miami, but I travel through the whole state of Florida, as well as Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Tennessee offering these classes. So we work with all of the Medicare Advantage companies, and they reserve us and put us in those locations. We also offer the classes in different languages, English as well as Spanish, as well as Haitian Creole. I have a multitude of different trainers. Our classes are broken down step by step using plain English and plain language rather in real life examples. We're not too techie in our classes because we all can relate. A lot of seniors, they clam up when we're trying to get too techie. So we don't do that. Also with our classes, we give out hands out for our classes of the actual PowerPoint that we're using that they can take home with them in order to retain. That helps quite a bit because a lot of times after a class, they have no idea what we were remembering, what we were talking about. So this is a resource tool for them. So they also call us regularly for questions and answers. We also do home visits, come to their home, and allows us to do things for them. That would be obviously a paid service on their behalf, but we make ourselves available for that. Some of our class titles would probably be like Smartphone 101, basic functions of the smartphone, working with photos, backing up to the cloud, as well as social media. We also talk about AI as well. So it really makes a difference for the seniors because what happens is a lot of times they get these devices from their kids and they just give it to them and they think they're going to be their mom or dad's tech support, but when their mom and dad call so much, they tend to disappear for them. And a lot of times the seniors really do need assistance. And so that's really makes a big difference. The way I got into the business, I used to work for the government. I was a certified ethical hacker for the government. I got kind of bored of that and I was in the Palm Beach County and I went to a Best Buy store and there was a seasoned individual beating up her phone and I took her outside, sat her down on a park bench and I helped her out. And she said that I was amazing and I should do this as a business. So I put an ad in the Palm Beach Post newspaper and one lady called me that owned 20 condominiums. Our first class had 100 people that showed up. And I knew at that point I really had something, but I didn't know how to get paid for it. So somebody pulled my coattails and told me that I should get Medicare Advantage companies to sponsor my events, which gives the companies an opportunity to present their services, but at the same time would allow them to have the exposure and they'll pay me to do that and present to the seniors. So long story short, when I do my classes, I tend to post a lot of my stuff on and content on social media. So someone from Florida Blue reached out to me and that's what got me in Florida Blue across all over the state. And that's really my story. We love what we do. We're very passionate, and we really feel that we're making a difference.
So, Torrence, so if someone's here and they are maybe working in an assisted living, nursing home, maybe a senior center with the city of Jacksonville or something like that, can they contract with you? And does it always have to be through, I think you said Medicaid Advantage or Medicare Advantage? Does it have to be through that, or are there other ways to do it? Can you tell us a little bit more about that? How can people get you?
So we do have quite a few senior communities that work directly with us. We just use that as a means to offer that services at those communities for free. And basically what the sponsor would do, they'll come in and speak 5 minutes just to tell them what they do for a living, but they're paying us to provide that service to the seniors for free. But I do know there's some communities that don't like that. It's kind of uncomfortable for them. So we do offer the services that they can actually contract with us. We're probably in about, I would say about 10 different communities across the state that pay us directly. But we're able to make it fit in any way that it can.
Excellent. And then you mentioned you were at the town center where Diana works, also Blue Cross Blue Shield. Is that open to anybody? Like, could anybody sign up even though they're hosting it? How does that work?
Okay, so Diana can attest to this. So you do not have to be a member of Florida Blue to go to their retail centers for their classes. They have a host of other classes. I'm promoting them now, obviously, but they have a host of other classes that are free to members and non-members. Currently I'm in 12 Florida Blue retail centers across the state, North Florida, West Florida, as well as Central Florida. They're open to all members. So if someone's interested in going to a class, they can gladly go there. And somebody like Diana can be very hospitable to them.
Excellent. So if somebody is interested, they're sitting here and they're thinking, man, I know a lot of seniors that could benefit from that. What's the best way for them to find out about your information or places that you might be that they could encourage their seniors to sign up for? Where would you tell them to start?
Okay, they can go to my website because every week I put my schedule of where I am going to be the next week, whether I'm in Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Tallahassee, Pensacola, or Jacksonville or Central Florida. I post that every week so they can go to the website and check there on the schedule, and we'll let you know where I am. Also, my website is a good resource. I put it on there. I'm going to put it on there again so they can reach out to me via the web, or they can call me. I'm actually putting my phone and my direct number that they can
Love
call
it.
me, and my email address if they have any questions, because I'm sure there are other questions that somebody might have that they won't remember at the moment, but this will give them opportunity. And we do what we can. We love the seniors, and it's really a special thing to me. I'm on the road so frequently. I'm in a different city every night, but I really do love it. It's very passionate to me, and I hold it very dearly to my heart.
And then Torrance, Carrie had a question. Where are you in Jacksonville next?
I'm actually today. I'm at Winston YMCA at 11 o'clock today. Get ready to go there. I'll be back in Jacksonville area. I believe it's next week or the week after. I would say call me or check my schedule, because I am in the Florida Blue Retail Centers as well as other senior communities. I'm here rather frequently. Actually, I think at the end of the month, I'm at another apartment complex, but definitely check my schedule or give me a call directly, and I can guide you to let you know where we are. We've done, I think, 5 events in Jacksonville this week.
Wow. Love it. And I follow Torrance on LinkedIn. When we asked him, I mean, Statius, I know you're on here. He's with the advisory committee and a new dad. So I'll put that out there for him. Probably not getting a lot of sleep, but he still was able to join the meeting today. So Eustatius is the one who first told us about Torrance. And then we heard from several other on the advisory committee too, that, yeah, here's a person who does this. He's great with the seniors, et cetera. So I follow him on LinkedIn because we connected to get this set up for him to join us today. And he was very willing to do so. He's everywhere. Like every day, I'm like, oh my gosh, he was just in Tallahassee yesterday. Now he's in Georgia. It's like this guy's everywhere, working hard, and he posts such cool stuff about what he's doing, working with the seniors, pictures of all of that. So if you are on LinkedIn, find Torrance. That's another way to figure out what he's doing, where he's at. So with that, Torrance, any last words before we send you on your way to your training class?
Oh, well, I want to thank you to Eustatius. Me and him met online. We've been talking online on LinkedIn quite a bit. And of course, I know Diana, and I see some other names on here that I know. So thanks for the opportunity. And I look forward to coming on again. And I like this group. I think it's a very resourceful group for references and everything. And I'd like to come back again if I'm invited.
Please.
What do I need to do to get involved? Definitely.
So definitely we'll ask Gabby, and I'll make a note to put you on the email list, and then you'll know about all the meetings coming up. Next one, September, and then November 1. And then Torrance, one last question for you. Caroline Emery says, when does your weekly schedule come out? The one online only runs through today.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again, Laura. I'm sorry.
She says the schedule that's online is only through today. When will you update it for the future
It'll
days?
be posted by tomorrow. I'm going to post tomorrow the schedule for the following week.
Okay.
Yes, it'll be there. It'll be up in line tomorrow. Yes.
Excellent. All right, round of applause and a huge thank you for Torrance. Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it. I know your training class is going to go fantastic.
No problem.
Thank you for coming.
So much for the opportunity. See you later, Diana.
All right, and with that, we are going to swing over to Joanne. And I think, can you change the spotlight to Joanne? There we go. Our Zoom producer is fantastic. I don't even know how to do the spotlight, but he does. That's why he's a Zoom producer and I'm not. So Joanne, welcome, and tell us who you are, what you do, in case somebody has not ever heard of even Seniors on a Mission, and then tell us about the technology help that you provide.
Okay, well, hopefully you all know I'm Joanne Hickox, Seniors on a Mission, and I am going to switch to a keynote real quick so that we can get all of the information about what Seniors on a Mission is. We have existed for 27 years. We take senior adults on day-long service opportunities to give them purpose and camaraderie. We discovered very quickly during the pandemic that what seniors really needed, because as our last speaker said, their children have given them iPads or tablets or smartphones, and nobody knew what to do with them. So we had a mobile unit and started teaching people one-on-one how to deal with, because everybody's has a different phone, they have a different setup, they have, whether they've upgraded to a new format, it's all very challenging. So what is a technology pop-up? this is from a senior citizen's perspective, not a volunteer's perspective. Basically, we go anywhere from, first of all, we interview every person before they have a 30 to 45-minute one-on-one session with someone, so we know what they want to learn. We typically use a senior center. We use a community center, we'll use a church, whatever we can find. Our trainers are extraordinarily patient. They're active listeners, which I love. They're flexible. If we have requests, we do have Spanish speaking. We've had a lot of Russian because of where we have gone. But we've also learned that Google Translate is fabulous. We've had a whole situation where we've had to use the technology, and in so teaching them how to use the technology to enable them to deal with language situations. Typically, our seniors are 55 or plus. We just tell them, come as you are, have an attitude of learning, because you're going to get dumped on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to learn. But we start with the absolute basics. They have to come with their own passwords, because we will not enter their passwords. We turn the phone to them, look in the opposite direction, please enter your password. The other thing is, come with your device charged, because inevitably we get rolling and there's a backup that needs to be done, or something, or a download that needs to be done. We have all Wi-Fi with us. We bring it, so there's no problem with that. What to expect when you come? When your seniors come, there will be 15 minutes before their actual time, please show up so they can get their interview done. We've actually had some people, when somebody didn't show up, we would have a senior that would say, I'll stay through that session, and they'll get a full hour and a half, depending on what they needed. We have a trifold on 11 by 17 paper of information, safety, security, and on the very back there's a place for notes. So they've got a handout that goes with them that's pretty extraordinary. We let them tell us what they'd like to learn, but we also make sure, is the screen bright enough? Is the sound loud enough? Is the font big enough? We make sure all of those things before we get into exactly what they want to do. These are some of the typical things that we go over, but then we have we've had a lot of problems with malware. We've had a lot of problems where they've had an underlying problem. Their phone's running so slow, and we did all the backups for them, and we found out that they had malware on their phone. So we help them to get that off. And we tell them what to avoid to not get into that situation. Safety is a huge deal for us. We don't do anything with banking. We do, however, and we are just starting this. I mentioned this in one of the chat breakouts. We have had a huge number of senior adults come to us saying, we don't know how to deal with our portals. And it's a health portal. Baptist Health just sent paperwork out to all of their patients, informing them they're not going to be dealing with paper anymore. So yeah, that Laura, that eyes are open. You should see, we had no idea, there's insurance portals, there's health backup portals, and there's one for Baptist, there's one for Mayo, there's one for, they're all different. They don't put all of their stuff in one place. Although I will say, I have had conversations with a technological person who is trying to create a portal per person, and all that information comes into one place, which is going to be extraordinary. We still don't do banking portals. If you have a banking portal, you and either your banker or your adult child, if you trust them, you need to work out your banking portals inside your own. We will not touch them. What else do we have here? Oh, so this gentleman down here in the corner, he runs our program. His name is Howard McMinn, and you can see his contact information, and I have put it into the chat. I have 5 minutes left, so I would really like to show you guys. I'm going to stop this and I'm going to share. We do a survey every time we ask, anytime we do a technology pop-up session with a senior adult, we ask them to do this 17-question survey. I won't go through all of the questions, but just to let you know, the majority of people are using an Android. You'll see we've got a few flip phones. They are kind of fun. What session was this? So out of 1,200 people, the majority of them are first timers, but we have second. We also have people that come back constantly because they want to be a part. Was this training beneficial to you? Out of 1,200 people, only 7 said that they disagreed or strongly disagreed. Everyone else was a strong agree or an agree on it being beneficial. Did this enhance your ability to connect with family and friends? Huge, huge. 96% knocked that one out of the park. Do you feel more confident using your device? Again, only 6 people out of 1,200 said that they didn't. So people are really enjoying the trainings. Were you thankful that it was free? Absolutely, everybody. Would you suggest this training to a family or member or a friend? That was amazing. This is interesting. When would you like to receive notification about future technology? The majority of these no's said they didn't have email. So that was like, okay, you got to come back next time and we will teach you how to have an email. So that was a big eye opener for us because we wanted to find out the why on that. The majority of our clients are female. And as you can see, the demographics kind of match our city. We help probably more African Americans than we do the population of whites. But that's our demographic. This is the household income range that we typically help. So you can see the majority of our folks are low to extremely low income. Most of the people we help are in Duval, but we've been in these 4 other counties. And the one thing that I really love, this is the bell curve of ages of the people that we help. From under 65, the majority you can see are 70 to 79 years old, but we do have 95-year-old and older that come and participate. So with that, I've got a whopping 2.5 minutes. If anybody has any questions.
Let me see if there's anything. This question is from the story, but I don't know if it was for Joanne or if it was for Torrence. So, Joanne, if you want to let us know that. And then my question to you, Joanne, while we're waiting to see if Anna needs anything, is how do people get signed up for this? Do they contact you? Do you have a calendar out there that people sign up for? What's that first step?
Okay, first of all, we work typically with the location first. So whether it is a senior center or a HUD housing or whether it's a church, we work with them months in advance to get that set up. And then there are typically 20 sessions that people can sign up for, and it's all free. So they can call on our website, or if they're seniors that get our newsletter, and we have an e-newsletter that also gives the technology days a month in advance. So they can, and then there'll be a contact, and you can contact that location directly and get signed up for a specific. And typically, unless you're with City of Jacksonville, most other locations, whether it's a church or HUD housing, if you sign up, they put your phone number with it, so that we will call you the day before to remind you, hey, tomorrow is the technology pop-up. Don't forget, you have a session at 10:45 p.m. or a.m. Typically, our sessions run anywhere, depending on whether with the city or outside the city ones start a little earlier. We found that theirs really needed to start earlier. So we start at 9, but typically we go from 10 until 3.
Okay. Excellent. Let me see if we've missed anything there. I think we're caught up. So, Joanne, thank you for everything you do. That is a small part of what Seniors on a Mission does, and it's so important, and it's perfect, of course, fit for what this topic is for us today. But thank you for all you do, for all your volunteers, everything. Very appreciated on behalf of the entire community. So, round of applause for Joanne. Great to see you. Thank you for dialing from Nashville. She's not even in Jacksonville today, and still is willing to come into the meeting. So, thank you. Okay. We are now going to move to a live video feed directly from Jacksonville, Florida. So we're switching over to Prachi. This is the other part of what's out there. And again, about a month ago, when Prachi's name was suggested to us, I went to see her facility. I don't know if you can change the spotlight. I went to see her facility, and first of all, it was overwhelming in a very good way. Like, I'm looking at all kinds of stuff. And let me just say, where she is in one part of it, a lot of technology is there, but she has a whole nother area in that office, store, et cetera, that is non-technical stuff. There's things that I looked at, and it's like I didn't even know, somebody playing cards. There's something to help them with that. There's something to help with this. So there's a ton of non-technical stuff that we're not going to necessarily talk about today because of the topic being senior technology. So she's ready to go. She's got us right up until like 10:27, 10:28, and then we'll wrap up with those a couple of door prizes. So Prachi, and then she has a sidekick helping her with the camera, etc. And Prachi, it's all yours. We'll let you know if we can't hear or audio or anything like that, but otherwise, you can take it away.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. It was a pleasure to meet quite a few of you in the breakout sessions. I'm going to jump right into the technology piece of it. Some of the things we have, I'll just highlight it really quick. For fall prevention, falls are a huge issue for seniors. And what can we do to prevent falls? So there are a lot of technological things available. I'm just going to point out one from that perspective. These are fall prevention pads. This is for the bed pad. Essentially, there is the pressure. So I'm sitting on one in the chair. If the pressure is taken off, the alarm will go off. As you and with very quick, it will be very, very, very loud alarm. This can be also put on the bed so that if the patient is rolling in bed, it can still cover quite a bit of it. And so there are some patients who do not like the things beeping in their own room. So I would rather than not have the beeper in their room because that they would get agitated. So we have beepers on the caregivers, and wherever the caregivers are within a vicinity, it would start alerting the caregiver that the patient or the loved one was trying to get up. So we have a variety of different options for this. Oh, there it goes. So she's going to turn it off, and I'll move on to the next item. This is a senior-friendly low vision phone. One of my clients at the beaches is currently using it. It's a mini vision. What is unique about this is that it has bumped buttons, so they can feel it. Otherwise, the normal screens which are available these days, they are flat, and it's very hard for them to maneuver. So people who are visually impaired or blind can use this phone. It's especially meant for that, and it does take voice commands. I have this patient who can very little see, but she's able to text me back and forth, send me pictures and all of that. So it's really unique to see that. I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm moving fast because there's tons of things to see and I don't want us to miss. This is a cushion, by the way, and it's only the cushion, not the chair. And the cushion is attached to this remote, which very gently lifts them up. And it's electrically connected. And if they have difficulty getting out of couches or chairs and stuff like that, a similar kind of seat is also available for the commode. So you can look into that, and it will very gently put them down as well. So that is another very unique cushion, not a chair, but a cushion only. And Again, helpful, this portable, so they can go to a family member's home if they are going to enjoy holidays or whatever, or even a birthday party, and take the cushion with them. We're going to move on to something which is a very important issue, medication management. Medication management, many a times, if it is not done correctly, it can have the patient or the client move to assisted living or even nursing homes if that's not managed properly. So I'm just going to point out a couple right here. There are several of them. Again, we are very specific about assessing the patient before we make recommendations. And for instance, I'll talk about this one specifically because several of my patients are using them right now. The medicines are distributed according to the dosage. The alarm is set as to when the medication is due, and the client is only supposed to remember to open up this drawer. I'll show it to you live right here. So they are only supposed to remember to open up this drawer, and the medication it exposes, and they can pick out what medication is in that particular slot. And this is how the slots look like. And it automatically, once they have taken it out and closed the drawer again, it resets for the next dose. And God forbid, if they didn't take the medication in a timely manner, the device will make a phone call to the caregiver. It will send a text message to the caregiver so that they can go and check on them as to what happened. I've had a couple of occasions where my clients, they did not take the medication, and what was happening is they were too busy in the happy hour and they did not attend their evening medication. So there you go. They are allowed to have fun. So, and then we have a lot of things called PERS devices. There are a variety of them. Again, I always assess the clients as to what is specific to them, what are their specific needs. For instance, I personally was using this particular PERS device. I continue to have low blood pressure, and I was passing out until I am now, with great grace of God, healed. And so I was wearing it myself. Some of you who have seen me, they might have seen me wear this. And this is a device which has a phone button on here, a SOS button on here. So all the person or the client needs to do is just push this button, and it will send alerts out if they need to be helped. It will also send, if there is a low battery, because many a times our seniors will forget to charge the battery. So it will send alerts out for the low battery also. This also has fall detection built in. And that's what I was using it for, because, God forbid, if I fell unconscious or it would send an alert out. I'll show you how it sends an alert out. It sends an alert out like this. And in there, you have the GPS built in, and it shows if I was passed out and I could not talk, it would tell my loved one where I exactly was, and my loved one could get to me if I was unconscious. So it is a very unique device, and I have used it. I have used it for several years now. I don't need to use it, and that's grace of God. But I have recommended it to quite a few people. Moving on, there are others as well, which are not as expensive. And, again, we base it on their specific needs. Some patients need what we call it patient monitoring, constant patient monitoring, like our congestive heart failure patients and stuff like that. And we have Bluetooth devices. So they essentially just take their blood pressure or their weight or their pulse oximeter, like their oxygen levels, and it automatically enters into the portal. And then the doctors or their loved ones can keep monitoring it as to how it works. There is another device with blood pressure which talks on the phone. So I have used it for my other client because he would not remember writing it down, and the doctor needed to know what the blood pressure levels were. So all he needed to remember is go on it, and the blood pressure machine would talk out loud, and I could hear it over the phone. Let's continue. We're going to go to the next room. Here we have a floor bed. Some of our dementia patients, they forget that they are not supposed to get up. Their balance might not be the best. and they need to not get up. And if they get up, they will walk and fall. So this is a floor bed, which goes all the way down to the floor. It's really close to the floor. And we recommend this particular thing so that even if they roll off the bed, they can be on the floor. And I've recommended it to several patients from Palm Coast and everywhere else. And if the caregiver needs to provide service, they can raise it up.
Close.
It's open.
नहीं चाप ऑन करने का या
It has a key so that the client doesn't fiddle with it, and it will go up. It has different positions. Right now, it is going in a tilted position. So many a times the caregivers or the nurses will need to do a specific position to help with their blood pressure, and you can make it go up and down. And it will go all the way up when the caregiver is providing care to the patient so that the caregivers are not hurting their back. So it will come up to the caregiving level as well. Let's move to the other room now. There's lots of things to see. I have provided caregiver services also here. I have Dottie here who's going to be modeling for me. And these are some very unique, you've seen other Hoyer lifts and stuff like that. They are electrical, fully electrical that can pick up patients off the bed and onto the chairs and stuff like that. But this is in particular a very sophisticated one because that in that particular one, the patients, they are in a sling and in a tilted position, and it's very scary because their vestibular system gets activated and they get very scared in the Hoyer lift. So what I like to do is use this, and I'll show it to you how it's used. You have to lock it in place, and Dottie has been graceful to allow me to use her as a model. Thank you, Dottie. And what is unique about this is only one person can operate it. So you don't need a couple of caregivers to do this. As opposed to in the Hoyer lift, we need two people to make sure their head doesn't get hit. And this one is very simple to use. Just click, click, and you are ready to rock and roll. I've had there she is. And she's not screaming. Those of you who have been in a hospital setting or any nursing home setting, you might have seen that they get very anxious in this position, but she is not, as you can see, and she's not scared. She's pretty, how do you feel? Are you pretty secure?
Yes.
Good. And as you can see, her bottom is now open, so you can provide clothing care and adjust their clothing if they're going to be sitting on the potty. And I can lower her down onto the potty. Very comfortably. And there she is. If she's done, I can provide care. By the way, it also has a weighing scale. So many a times it is hard to weigh the patients, and you can just weigh the patient right here, the client. And I can move her, I can provide hygiene care, and then move her onto a couch. So these lift chairs, are you comfortable? Yes. Good. So we're gonna release her. Thank you so much, Dottie, for allowing me to use you as a model. And I wanted everybody to see how easy it is to operate this without any issues. And in this lift chair, she could even relax or lie down and sleep. you're not allowed to go to sleep, Dottie. And if she needed to get back up, so many a times when we have lift chairs like this, people think that it will catapult them, but it doesn't. It is very gentle. It's lifting her up now from a laying position. Just like the cushion we saw earlier. And this is actually the whole chair. So is it easier for you to get up from there? Yeah. That particular device, by the way, it can be used, and I've used it for patients or clients who could not walk. So we have a special sling for that, and a different kind of sling can allow people to walk with it too. So it can be used for rehab training and stuff like that. Again, makes it very easy for caregivers to do walking when they are given a walking program by a therapist and they are feeling uncomfortable because the client might be at risk for falls or the loved one might be at risk for falls. And many a times they don't get to practice because it is unsafe and they might fall. I'm happy to take questions.
There are a lot of questions in the thing.
Okay, so I'll get back to the computer and we can answer the questions. Or in the
So
room
Prachi,
also.
Prachi, you had a GPS technology that you shared with me when I was there that does a parameter that if someone like an Alzheimer's patient or something like that
Right.
leaves an area, it makes a phone call, it alerts people, et cetera. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So this is the same device which will do the GPS location, but in the past I have had used it in Park Place of Mandarin. Now it is called Brookdale of Mandarin, by the way. And this gentleman was pastor, and just out of his own, it was in his DNA to help people. And he, from his window from the third floor, had seen an accident, and he brought himself back in his scooter and went to the road to help those people and pray with those people or whatever he wanted to do. And later on his way back, he forgot which way he was going and turned the wrong way. So that's when the nurse over there, the director of nurse, he reached out to me saying, how do we help him? We don't want to limit him, but how do we help him? So we gave him this device and we put a geo fence around the building. So through the device. So whenever he was using the device and he would leave a certain parameter, then the nurses were alerted right away. So that's how we protected him with the same device.
Excellent. So I'm going to go through the questions. Feel free if you want to stay there in case you want to tell us something. So a question was the machine that Dottie was in, that you moved her from one spot to another. Are you able to share the cost of that? And is it covered by any of the programs? Does it have to be out of pocket? How does that work?
Yeah, that has been my pet peeve, that insurance companies typically don't pay, or even Medicare for that matter, does not pay for anything worthwhile. But again, I'm not going to go on that soapbox right now. Yes, that equipment costs about $5,000 something, and depending on what specifics do you need, because there is lots of bells and whistles on that device as well. So depending on their patient specific needs, we say that you get this piece or you get this little accessory or whatever. So in the $5,000 range.
Okay. And then a question, do you have adaptive feeding devices to help people with tremors?
Say that again, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Do you have adaptive feeding devices to help people with tremors?
Sure. We have feeding devices. These are weighted. We have weighted utensils. It's going to be, I wasn't planning to talk about that. No, that's not a weighted utensil. Okay. But we have weighted utensil for people with tremors, and we have tons of other devices. Like, let's say if they wanted to cut their apple or their food, they could use a rocking knife. We have this big rocking knife, and we have smaller rocking knives too. Here I am holding it in my hand. I don't know if you can see it. Mm-hmm. And it's a rocking knife. I had a patient in the Penny Farms, and he was a very, very highly educated person, and he had tremors, and he did not go to the dining room because he was embarrassed about, shaking and spilling things and all of that. So we recommended some of these weighted utensils, and it was, again, they don't want to make it look odd. They want to make it look very simple and straightforward. And that is why we recommended these kind, which looks normal. There are two different varieties. I have it. I just didn't prepare because I thought I was going to run short on time and I didn't pull it out. And if I pull it out now, it's going to make too much noise. But we have weighted utensils and stuff like that, which look like normal utensils. So they can even take it to the restaurants or to their loved ones' homes and eat with it and still have a social time with their families without having to feel embarrassed.
Got it. And then a question, where is your store located? And I'll add in, what are your hours that people can walk in and see all of these fabulous options?
Right. Our store is located across from the Coggin Toyota dealership off of Phillips Highway or behind Volkswagen dealership. You just go further down on Business Park Boulevard, 6971 Business Park Boulevard. And I recommend you making appointments. Either Manish or myself, I'm always out and about, trying to help patients out there. So if you make appointments, we can try to help you. And our store hours are Monday through Friday. We do some special appointments on weekends as well, and from 8:30 to 5:30 p.m.
Very good. And then a question just came in. Can they order things online? Do you have a website that they could order supplies like on the weighted utensils and that kind of thing?
Yes, we have a website. It's www.prismhealthservices.net. I'm going to forward our brochure, electronic brochure, to Laura, and and Herb, if they can share it with the rest of the group. All of the information will be on there as well.
Very good. So curious, is Dottie still, I see Dottie's logged in. Is she at the computer and she could type some of that into the chat box?
Yes.
Yes. Is she doing it?
And then Joanne says, was it 6971 Business Park Boulevard? Was that the correct address?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Yeah, so, and then Mack just put in the website. So you've got that, the About Us. I can't remember if there's anything else. If there's hours that Dottie wants to put on, and if you want to say it again, Mack can type that into the chat box for you.
8:30 to 5 o'clock, Monday through Friday. And I have done some appointments on weekends also for special cases. So if you call me and is there a special case needed, I will accommodate even on weekends.
Very good. And then I think I've hit all the questions, but a couple things. What are the most sought after, or most, popular is probably not the right word, but most needed that you didn't tell us about, even if it's not a technology item? And there are, I'll just say to everybody, there is multiple different pill devices and multiple different help I've fallen, I can't get up devices. She's shown us kind of the core of all of these things, but there's lots of variations of them. And that's the benefit of going in and actually having the conversation with Prachi and Minshu, is that there's just so much there. I was just amazed at all the things. What are the things that are really most sought after?
Well, it's not most sought after, but I think it is the coolest, like technologically advanced device. So this one is also a medication dispenser, and it has chips built in, like a computer chip built in, and the loved one can change the dosage sitting at their own computer wherever they might be in the United States. So like many a times the doctors change the dosage, and it's hard for people to come in and change the dosage on here. You literally have to start over again. But on this one, they can, start at the minimum dose and just double up, or, change or like skip the dose or whatever on the computer. So this is a very cool device. I didn't even talk about this because people just look at it and they think it is very complicated. It has a lock built in. Even this one has a lock, so you can keep it safe. This is a teeny tiny lock for this device. Now I cannot open it, so you can keep it safe. And as soon as I put it in, I can open it up. You can put reminders like drink water, walk the dog, those kind of reminders can be put on there. And the only thing the senior citizen needs to remember is to push this blue button. That's all they have to do. The machine dispenses the medication through this little drawer. It will pop out. And if they forget to close the drawer, the machine will remind them to close the drawer as well. It will keep on saying, close the drawer, close the drawer, close the drawer until they do it. You can even, do some very unique, like I love you messages and stuff like that on that. So it's just, some unique things, which is very helpful. I forgot to mention some of the other features. This particular thing I can mention. There is a device which reads the medication to them, and it has this RF ID tag. And some of the pharmacies, we have a list of pharmacies who take or will do this kind of service for free. So if you have a low vision client, they can do this RFID tags, and they can get this particular device, for free. It is available for free for low vision people, and the device will tell them, and they have these big font information for their machine, for their medication rather. So the pharmacies will do this for free, by the way.
But Prachi, anything else that you can think technology-wise? Because I have one last question for you.
There's tons of things. There is one like these devices right here. One of them is like this called 911. This one I like also, where it's only a one-time cost. There is no ongoing cost to this device. But once you set it up, there's no monthly fee, and it goes around the house. So if you have a homebound client, he or she might be able to use this. And the nice thing about this is you can program family members' numbers on this, so that the client will feel comfortable pushing the button. Many times I have seen that they don't want to push the button because it will bother somebody. But if it is their children, they might be okay, or the friend, they might be okay to pushing the button, and they might be to push and then get the help they need. The nice thing about that is you can even push it to the friends and 911 mode. And because it is connected to the landline, again, the landline is necessary for some of these. And if it is connected to the landline, the 911 people will automatically know where they are located, and they will send dispatch help for them. So there are multiple other devices here as well.
So just so you know, Prachi and Manish may see this already, tons of great comments coming in of how grateful they are for what you're sharing. As we wrap up in the next 2 minutes, can you show us the headings? So you just were in an area just before that said vision related. So you've got these plate cards. What is it that you have that people should know that you have stuff for?
Yeah, so we have these incontinence related products, which are very technologically advanced products. Some are reusable and some are disposable. We have arthritis related products. Again, people who have arthritis and they are dealing with a lot of issues, activities of daily living can be a challenge. And we have tons and tons of devices for that as well. Orthopedic related, within they have orthopedic issues. They can deal with that. Diabetes, we have those stuff as well, different variety of socks and different things. There are things going all the way up to the ceiling if they have wounds and stuff like that. Vision related, of course, you guys saw. We have some very cool devices here as well, like nail clippers. How do they clip their nails if they cannot see? We have nail clippers with magnifiers and stuff. Compression socks is a huge thing. And we have a variety of compression socks with designs and stuff like that. This is a pressure point. This is for caregivers. This is almost addicting, so that's why I'm not going to use it right now, because once I start, I cannot stop. Again, getting in and out of bed and all sorts of fun things. I welcome people to come out and see it for yourselves. If you have patients or clients in mind, make appointments and bring them, or come and see it for yourself. I think it will be helpful.
Excellent. And when I was there, they had a headset. So my in-law, who is wheelchair bound, he does little Lego kits and airplane kits and things like that, but he has to hold a magnifying glass and a light. So he's doing one or the other, and it's really kind of challenging for him, but it's one of his things he loves to do. And they had a little thing that goes around, that they wear, and it projects on, and he can actually look through a lighted magnifying glass with both of his hands are free. The other really cool thing she showed me is a lot of us have seen the grabbers that you can reach tall things. Being a short person, I use my grabber to hit the taller shelves, but it also, they sell one that has a magnet on it, and it picks up not only just magnet things, really anything. and it can collapse. I think she has hers in her purse. So there's just a lot of stuff that you don't even know I was just shocked and very impressed with. Wow, I didn't know. And I wish when my mom was alive that I knew of half this stuff because she could have benefited from it. So highly encourage you, if you can get over to the store, check in with Prachi and Manish. And then I don't know if Dottie would do the demonstration for you again. I think you have to be in the inner circle for Dottie to get back in that chair and do that again. But congratulations to Dottie for being such a great role model for all of us. So
Thank you, Dottie.
I think that is everything. So again, a huge round of applause for Prachi and her team there. Awesome job. Really appreciate it. And we're going to now switch back over to the last part of the program, which is giving away our door prizes. So let me head into that. In just a second, we are going to randomly choose on the wheel of names. You do have to be here. Mack has done his best behind the scenes while we're all talking and listening to clean up the list. So hopefully we've got just the folks that are here today. If you are here and your name is called, please alert us that you are here. Otherwise, we assume that you're gone or didn't make the meeting, and we're going to go on to the next person. Dr. Dennis, thank you for being our sponsor today. Again, great information from you. So thank you so much. And if you have anything that you want to send me to include in the post email next week for any of our presenters, please do so. And our next date, September, will be a Zoom, and we're hoping for November 14th to be in person. So for anybody out of the area, if you need an excuse to come to Jacksonville and load your schedule up with other networking and meetings and things like that, we're hoping to have November 14th. And I think ElderSource is planning on hosting us again, if that is the case at their facility. So with that, I'm going to say thank you, and let's go to the wheel and let's do some spinning. Bridget, are you here? Bridget, if you are here, let us know. Bridget, unmute yourself, wave. If somebody sees Bridget, let me know. I have lost my pen, so maybe you can make a note of who that is. Bridget, are you here? Last chance. Oh. All right.
She's there. She's in the room.
Oh. Hey, Bridget, are you here?
She's on mute.
Yep, she's on mute.
And
Okay.
Melissa Kicklighter is also here.
All right, Melissa, are you here? I see that your name is here, so hopefully you are. I think you are.
Oh.
All right. So I see Melissa and I see Bridget still here. So thank you so much. So I will get in touch with you after the meeting, and I'll hook you up with Dr. Dennis, who will be virtually sending you those Amazon gift cards. So congratulations. Thank you, everybody. Great to see you today. Hopefully see you in September. Have a good rest of the summer. Thanks, everybody. Thank you to the presenters. Really appreciate it.